Good morning, guys. How you doing? Weekend was pretty good. Got some work done, so that was cool. Hold on. Just getting ready to pull up the list of tickers you guys picked. Wow. All right, that's weird. All right, so first up, BTU with the most votes. Interesting. Looks like it fell a little bit below the 15 mark here. Let's see. Lows 1466, close 1464. Hmm. I mean, primary support's still at 15. It's starting to build up some sold puts at 13, 14, so those should be slightly supportive. They don't have a ton of delta. Let me take a look out here. So CLOI. Hmm. Looks like some synthetic longs at 15 for for the leap expiration. 14. Some of these are just into the end of the week. Some are a little further out, but not many. But the majority of them expire this week. 13. Not too many there yet. Or well, 1450. Sorry. 13. Those are pretty far dated too. Those are Jesus Christ. September, a little bit in June. So yeah, I mean, still a little bit of support here. I think honestly, like we're probably not going to see a ton of movement until April. I know Trump's been walking around giving his whole big, beautiful, clean coal speech, so that's a positive, I guess, for them. But tariffs are still an unknown factor. And I don't think it's going to see a lot of price improvement until there's more news on that or there's some recovery in the Chinese economy, some more substantial recovery. Volatility on the 30, 60, 90 day, all kind of turning up a little bit on the 10 too. So it might be getting ready to catch a bounce. Um, Historic vols kind of trending up a bit, but it's been moving down pretty rapidly. There's still room for it to move down, maybe like 14 or 1350. We'll have a harder time falling below that. But the upside's starting to pick up a little bit of gamma. Not a ton. I mean, BT is not super influenced by its options chain yet. For some reason, you guys keep asking about it literally every fucking week. Um, I don't know why. Pick a different stock. It's not doing anything fun until there's some sort of dynamic change in how commodities, especially energy commodities, are being viewed on a geopolitical stage right now. I swear to fuck, if you guys vote for BTU again, I'll never talk about it for the next like 5 years. All right? Cool. That font is way too big. Hold on. I don't like that color. What color am I gonna do today? Let's do red. No, that's not good for the colorblind people. Mm, bastards. All right. Did you vote for ACAM in the thing? Let me get through the other tickers, and then if I've got some time at the end, I'll do some of those. Ooh, Tesla. At least that one's kind of interesting. Hey. All right. So Tesla lost gamma neutral again on Friday, falling down to about 337. Delta on the chains continued to decline at a pretty steady pace since about December 17th. And gamma, total gamma exposure is actually just still slightly positive, but falling negative pretty quickly. Uh, Out here, I mean, there's not much support at 35. A little bit at 30 and 20. Loss of 20 looks like it'll probably go straight down to 300. Volatility continues to fall off on the 30, and HV is declining. I would look for HV to probably pick up with the downside move. It does look like HV10 is moving up a little bit. But vol across all the expirations is still pretty fucking flat. Um, yeah, there's still some more room for this to sell off. It's gonna slow down in pace though. Um, a little bit of local support here fails. I would say it could sell off reasonably quickly, like 320, but below 320 would be quite a grind. Um, Look at Delta here. Yeah. Hmm. 320, 315, 300. What does it need to get over? Hmm. Back over 355. Ooh, fancy. Hmm. Okay. Uh, so it's next. I don't even know liquidity at the moment. Only depression. Why is that? Fubo. Fubo closed a little bit below $4. Delta and Gamma are starting to bleed off a little bit. Gamma Max is moving away from spot. This is probably getting a little bit sold call heavy. Let me take a look at IV. Don't look at that shit. Maybe 10 and 30 are picking up a little. They're still fucked. Does anybody know when earnings is coming up on this? Uh, Friday the 20, oh, this coming Friday? Hmm. This could be a kind of an important moment for the vol shorts that got trapped on the run up to try to get out. We do have a small opportunity here. Um, mm, there's still quite a lot of in the money delta. Let's see, 350s, moderately well supported. Some further dated sold puts there. Those are out to March. Oh, these are way longer dated. Hmm. A lot of the $4 puts fall off this coming Friday. Oh, right at earnings. There's still a decent amount of gamma to the upside to like $5. So yeah, maybe it pulls back to like 350-ish. And then it might move up as IV rises. That might shake off some of the sold calls. Let's take a look at the gamma curve here. Yeah, pretty easy for it to move down, at least a 3. Hmm. Can we remove the Pi-Fi sign? I'll clear everything off so you guys can see it at the end. All right, let's see what's next. EIX. Huh. Interesting. That's a weird one for two people to bring up. Big drop in GN. Delta neutral pulled down towards spot. Total delta on the chain fell off pretty hard on Friday, though. But gamma moved up really sharply. Hmm. Needs to climb up a little bit more, but yeah, there's a lot of upside room on it. Realized vol is going fucking crazy. IV10's coming down. Start falling the 10 minutes going up. Why is that so? This is a weird one. These are sold out like March, April, July OPEX. March, April, July. Bunch in April at 55. April 55. April. Alright, well, that looks pretty bullish. I mean, there's a bit of upside resistance. Hmm. Visa. Did anybody short Visa last week? Well, looks like it finally fell off at Gamma Max a little bit. Delta's starting to come down. Gamma's falling off. There's a little bit of support still at 45 and 35 to the downside. IV and realized value turning up a bit. There's definitely some room down, but things slow down quite a lot under 335. If I have time, I'll cover it. I have ones that people actually asked for. ACAM on the Discord. If you guys want your tickers to get reviewed, vote on the list that Carl gives everybody. Next one, AKAM. Ugh, gross. Looks like shit. I don't know. Could keep dropping. Looks like 70s support. This is clearly like a missed earnings or something. Shitty outlook, but they beat on revenue and EPS. Which seasonally has been pretty common for them. Weird data processing services you think wouldn't be. All right. feel like it's not getting banned. Oh shit, what did I do with my water? Give me 1 second. I'm gonna grab my. Sorry, I left my water in the kitchen. Yeah, I mean, it looks like they've guided down. Like if I go out, if I go out here on, we take a look at the. This is kind of weird, but if you look at like the seasonality for this, it looks like they've guided down on this quarter's earnings like every fucking time for the last like 3 years. And in 2024, after they guided down, stock price continued to drop. In 2023, after they guided down, stock price rose. So I would say I don't know that much about the company, but I would say it's a bit of a gamble to try to play that upside turnaround on it right now. There's support, but who knows how weak it is. And then, especially after such a large drop, it was fucking crazy, crazy drop in market cap for 1 day. So, it might be like over exaggerated, but it's good to be careful playing these like post earnings reversals, which is, I mean, kind of what I'm sure someone who wants to play this is interested in. It's usually a little bit better to like wait for support and then get some confirmation before trying to enter. Even though sometimes like the low of the move is realized right away, it's not always. We can take a look at some of their other recent earnings that sold off, right? This one just kept grinding down for a few days before it caught support around like 85. Uh, Earnings previous to that did pretty well, but didn't gain anything after the initial earnings move. Um, this one kind of rose up for a couple days and then just sold off for several months, 2 months before moving up into the next earnings. So yeah, I would probably not fucking touch it right away. At least get some confirmation on direction or like find out where people are building support. Otherwise, it's too risky. All right, let's see what's next. NVO. Give me a second here. NVO. All right, a little bullish and grindy to the upside. Broke out above Delta neutral on Friday. Almost tested Gamma Max. And failed. Delta's been picking up for a few days now. Off of its low. Gamma's pretty positive. So it's well supported here. Um, mm, hmm. 88's probably pretty important, but resistance at 90. IV still coming up. Mm. push out as high as like 105. But Gamma Max is currently at 90. So, you know what? I don't I don't normally say this, but this one might be worth playing if it breaks Gamma Max. Went from like negative 182 to positive 92 million in adjusted delta. Gamma went from negative 13 million up to positive 8 million. Yeah, actually. It's interesting here with the bullish positioning, 90 to 120 days out. Yeah, that seems to be where people are going long out of the money. This one's kind of interesting. Synth-long leaps on BTU makes sense. Someone's doing that at like $15. So, sure. If you think some sort of solution to the tariff issue is going to be resolved over the next 10 months. But remember, currently, no resolution is even going to be announced or planned until after like April 1st. So you might have some time before considering that. But they burned down SoCal. Eh, you know. And they also went from, $80 down to like 52. It's really not, I really don't think it's that big of a difference from what we saw with like Hawaiian Electric, right? Except maybe less culpability. If it's going to lose more value, it'll probably be because they cut their dividend due to the drastic drop in price. And with a Trump administration that seems to be very focused on the state of emergency regarding energy. Um, they'll probably get through this fairly easily. What kind of energy drink is that? It's like this shit. It doesn't have as much caffeine as Red Bull, but it's got some other stuff in it that kind of balances shit out, makes you less a little. Well, it makes me a little less jittery. It's called Ghost Gamer. Also, no sugar. Red Bull's got a shitload of sugar in it. What's up, Poopy? What does it have in it besides? It definitely has fucking B vitamins. Not a lot of them, though. It's got taurine, tyrosine, and theobromine, which is like another stimulant. Are you a sponsor? Because if not, you need a better publicist. I don't have a publicist. All right, calm down, calm down. I've still got other people's tickers who actually used the document, and I have to do those first. And then I'll get to whatever, nonsense penny stocks you guys want me to look at. Costco. Ooh. Is it time to short Costco more? Services were kind of starting to fall. That's probably not a good sign. Costco slipped gamma neutral on Friday, which is continuing to rise. Delta neutral is down at 978. Gamma and delta both falling off the chain, but there was a bit of a bouncing gamma on the low test Friday at 1025. So this could continue down. I suspect that these 1025 puts were sold. Yeah, it looks like these were sold for this coming Friday and for first week of March. Um, Probably want to see what happens on the retest of gamma neutral. So I would say, let's see if vol picked up at all. Yeah, IV10 picked up pretty fast. This might bounce here. Okay. This is tough. If indexes continue to sell off and retail continues to underperform, it may not, but it looks like someone's at least trying to bounce it. I don't think I'd want to play the upside move on it. That's probably really risky. But if it broke out above 1038 again, it might be worth thinking about going long. Because yeah, like above 1040, we can just go pretty much straight out to 1060 with very, very little resistance. 1020 to the downside. Yeah, but if the bounce fails and 1025 is lost, probably back to 1000. This one's tricky. It's kind of right. I mean, it's a little bit on the bearish side, but still right in the middle of its in the middle of the bullish and bearish positioning. Where's Girk's publicist? I don't know. The canned version has 1,000 milligrams of B6. This one has. This one doesn't even have B6. It just says B. I know it does have B6. It's 0.85 micrograms per serving. So it's only like 50% of your daily value. The canned one's ridiculous. While we're on energy drinks, how do you like Celsius? Buying Alani Nu? Pretty good, because I've been buying Celsius for like the last 6 months. So I was very happy with the announcement. I mean, I don't really think like their products are all that great, but they're popular and they have a pretty big they've built out a pretty big market very quickly. They went from like last year being kind of fringe to being literally everywhere you go now. It's my requested ticker this week. I see it. It's way down the list. I might get to it. I might not, but we can talk about it. Let's see. T Doc. You know how you know we're in a bubble? Because Kathy Woods is making money right now. Sell signal confirmed. Oh shit, we don't have T-Doc? What the fuck? I'm gonna tell Atomic. Alright, I guess we're just relying on this shit. Interesting. A bunch of short sellers have declared large positions on Teladoc, uh, but they were maintained as a buy at Goldman Sachs. Neutral at B of A. They have earnings coming up this Wednesday. I don't know. I probably wouldn't fucking touch it. It sold off pretty hard the last couple of days. For 26 estimate is negative 26 cents a share with revenue estimates of 639 million. Hmm. What a piece of shit. Our cash flows seem to bounce in the fourth quarter. I wonder if that's due to like flu season. Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably just wait for earnings. Which have largely been shitty. Is she? Some of the shit she invested in a while ago is ran. Are you influencing us? Do you have a discount code? I don't. I'm not sponsored at all by anyone. I get offers to sponsor things, but there are always things I don't like, so I don't want to sponsor them. I don't know what to say about this. I'm just not going to do anything on it. We have earnings Wednesday. GLHF. You don't like money? I don't really see like any opportunity here. They're just going into like an unknown, right? And like they have a chance to both miss or beat on earnings. Like, if you look at their cash flow and revenue growth over like the last 6 quarters, I mean, this could really it could swing either way. Who the fuck knows? And I'm not gonna go do like a deep dive into the company to try to assess what their forward earnings are gonna be when it's trading at 1.2x book and they have a mountain of debt. I also don't have options data on it, which makes it even less fucking interesting for me. Get someone to email companies the products you do like. Delegate. Eh. Bert, I want to be wooed, okay? I don't want to go woo people. My snarky comment was about sponsorships. When would I question you about stocks? Listen, Nito, I don't think anybody wants me to sell their product to the 400 degenerates who watch this shit every day. And I don't want to take like it's already all of my effort to shill the product I actually made. Like my shilling energy is exhausted on Gamma Strike. I don't have time to shill other things. Alright, what's next? Sorry about T-Doc. If I had options data, I'd give you more on it, but I don't, and I don't care. Oh my god. How many of these tickers don't have options? Or are like $1? The fucking Polaris? Mm. Domestic manufacturer. Are they? I don't know if they are. I don't know what your fucking ticker is, Greg. And if I find out, I'm not going to do it. So you better be quiet. Fucking Greg. Hmm. I, Carl, we need a place for people to put notes so I know why they want to look at Polaris while its net margins dive into the ground and the payout ratio on their dividend peaks at like 150%. Why are they paying 5.76% dividend yields? Are their cash flows that good? Do people need quads? I mean, they're fun. They're not as fun as jet skis. Does Polaris make jet skis? They might. I know, they make snowmobiles. Ew. They have 4.22 billion in debt. 2.29 of that in current liabilities. Hmm. Cash flows have been getting hammered. Probably hard to keep up with their interest payments. Revenues are staying pretty consistent, but they're exposed to increased tariff costs. Like, yeah, I don't know. Some of the sell off on it might just be due to tariffs, but I mean, it's gonna impact them. It's gonna impact all manufacturers, and higher PPI is not great either because they pay dividends. I mean, their cash flows aren't terrible. It's intermittent. They might lower their dividend or cancel it. They definitely seem to be in a place where that could be a possibility. I suggested the ticker because they bottomed against a long-term trend. Okay. So just technicals? Did they? This is the weekly. It looks like they failed a long-term trend. Like really badly. Like failed, retested, and then continued to fail. Might be some support around $36 and then, like 26 or lower. 21. We're looking at an even. Is there like a longer one that I'm missing? This? They still got room to go down. 35. Yeah, so maybe. I mean, like, if you want to play the technicals on that. But I would look at the business itself. It looks like there's some at least near term issues, and they got to get that fucking debt paid down. Also, given that their dividends paying out like 5.76% right now, if that shit gets slashed, the price of the stock's gonna drop like 15-20% more than it already has. And I really do think they're in a position where they need to cut that dividend probably soon. Especially if yields continue to remain high, which is very likely. So yeah, I mean that's what I got for that. I'm not gonna write it up because But yeah, I would say it could keep going down. Oh God, fucking DVN again. All right, that's Greg. Greg's got to be DVN. All right, let's see here. I'm not making it through these very quickly today. Starting to come back again. Got back over the trend. 37. Ooh, maybe this isn't complete shit right now. Still a lot of resistance to the upside, but uh, breakout back above delta neutral is probably a good sign. 40 looks like it's going to be relatively hard resistance in the near term. Also, a bunch of the delta and gamma that were propping it up here into the back half of last week fell off. So it looks like the excitement following earnings might be fizzling out a little bit, but up on the week overall. I mean, I could see it starting to set like a higher low on the bounce. Maybe maybe it like hangs on to the 36 or 35 level. Still strangely a lot of open interest at the 37.50 strike. So plenty of theta at 35. So maybe like chop between 35, 37 until more upside is built out. Only problem with DVN right now is like a lot of the like it's more affected by like the Russia Ukraine peace talks peace talks. I just wanted to be nice to you, Greg. CEG. Oof. Man, fucking earnings this quarter have just been dog shit, huh? So Constellation falling. Let's see. I know whose ticker this is. Down 13% into the back half of the week. 13.8% into the back half of the week. After gaining fucking massive amounts of market cap due to AI speculation. So I'm not surprised that someone pulled the rug on this. Big drop in adjusted delta. Skew adjusted Gex has almost moved negative, which is really fucking bearish. Looks like there's plenty of room to the downside. A little bit of support at 280. If that fails, it could drop as low as like 250. Um, Plenty of room for implied vol to move up or realized vol to move down. So maybe it would find some stability here, but Jesus. Yeah, it could even go lower than 250. It'll slow down under 250 though. Um, oh, I want to look at IB 6090. Those aren't moving very much. Maybe 10 flat. Yeah, so it looks pretty bearish. It's got quite a lot of range. Options are probably crazy expensive on it, but all right, what's next? GME. Hmm. Delta neutral still down around 20. Um, Overall, Delta's still pretty flat. It hasn't fallen very significantly. Largely in the money positions at 20 and 25, keeping that propped up. Fell below support at 27, but that's just a minor support. Um, Probably no significant move unless it gets below 25. Volatility's picking up on the 30 day, the 10. 60, 90. Historic vol's pretty flat right now. How's HV10 looking? HV10's a little bit elevated. Um, Support. Breakout above 27. Okay. That's an annoying spot, but oh, actually, let me look at one more thing. Hmm. Okay. Shit. Oh, I fixed it. What's up, NW? Alright, let's see what's next. Wolf? Fucking Christ. I'll never understand why the pickle jar doesn't like just taking their money and walking away. Why do you guys get like married to these fucking stocks? And you're like, oh man, this the fucking thing made me money. I'm gonna keep trading it for the rest of my life. Looks like shit. It failed the 750 test, roughly where I said the top would be. Um, Putting it in the money profit taking. Fall back below 650 would be bearish. There's still some decent support at 650, but not a shitload of it anymore. Most of it's back at 6. Looks like Gamma Max pushed up. Delta Neutral pushed up. Failure of Delta Neutral on Friday. If it falls below Gamma Neutral, bearish down to like $5. Sold all my U. Good. Some people didn't. I don't have data on RCAT. I don't really want data on RCAT. Head and Shoulders on the daily. Doesn't look great. It's at support right now. Further breakdown, like a test at 676. If that fails, possibly all the way back to $2. Lost 8% on Friday, and earnings were terrible. The company doesn't make money, which I've said when people have previously asked me about it. But yeah, this doesn't look good. Looks like the bullishness is waning rapidly. I may hold a higher valuation over time than it was at previously, but there's quite a lot of room for it to drop. 671, 559, 442, and then under that, like back to $3. Ooh, EPAM. See, that's a good one. EPAM lowered guidance. There's a lot of uncertainty going on with what's going to happen in Ukraine. So EPAM ate shit at the back on the back half of last week. Dropped like fucking almost 20% on earnings. Even though they did beat on earnings. Revenues and EPS were both up. So looks like possibly another discount opportunity on EPAM. with the political uncertainty surrounding Russia Ukraine. Uh, yeah, it could definitely keep falling. There's really no significant supports to the downside here. A loss of 210 would be pretty bearish, and I'm not even sure what it closed at. Fell below, back below gamma neutral, which it hasn't been below since like October of last year. Fucking ton of delta fell off the chain, even going into earnings. Gamma turned around a little bit on Friday, so possibly it gets a bounce here, or at least moves back. There might be like a short-term play on a retest of gamma neutral, which is up at like 213. Looks like it closed the day around 208. So I can see maybe if it can get, yeah, if it could get back to gamma neutral, possibly it could move up and test like 230 on a break back above gamma neutral. So there could be a bounce on this. I don't know if there will be. Gamma starts to fall off pretty slowly as downside continues. And if it does find support here at the 210 level, there is some room to the upsides. So I don't like that so much delta fell off, but if I were looking for some signs that it might bounce, there could be an okay setup here. Hmm. Definitely bearish to the downside though if it continues. Like 150. No, it has a lot. I mean, it gives you like a like fucking niacin flush. The canned one does. But the powdered one has like barely any B6 in it at all. It's really, really low, especially for an energy drink. Oh, TQQQ. I mean, TQQQ threw the bear signal on Friday, although it kind of flattened out at the end of the day on my little TQQQ meter. So this is usually quite a bearish move. This is why this is why I shorted TQQQ earlier in the week was things were kind of trending back towards that median trend. And I'm not gonna explain what this does, but it works. We could take a look at the options chain, but I don't think it's very relevant. It's just gonna be like QQQ, right? So there's a bit more room to the downside for continuation. Could probably go as low as like 74. There's a little bit of support at 77 and 74. Um, maybe 80. Maybe 80. Mm, no. I think 77. 77.50. Not really 80. 77.50 support and 74.50 support. Delta's a bit weird in the money. Doesn't really pick up any Vana, but speed picks up to the downside a little bit. Maybe I should look at the shorter expiries, especially across the shorter dated expiries out into like the March OPEX. It doesn't look like it gets much worse after that, so uh, negative gamma to the downside will pick up fairly quickly if it continues to move down. Fell below gamma neutral on Friday, but delta neutral moved down pretty sharply, which may indicate that there's a possible reversal here. Might have another day or two of selling off though. Delta and gamma both fell very quickly. Total gamma exposure is still slightly positive, but adjusted delta is extremely negative on this. It's not yet picking up a lot of IV to the downside, but it's starting to pick up some. So I would say it looks like it's probably going to get at least a little bit of a continuation before it finds some support. Looks like it's got about anywhere from $5 to $10 left on the downside move. Time is it? Oh, Jesus Christ, it's almost 3. I'm like a fucking hour and a half into this. Let's see what's left. Zom, Hood, Apple, SRF, SMCI, Reddit, uh, Baba. Baba might be worth looking at. That one's got a little blown out recently. Gamma Max is still kind of rising on it, but Delta turned around pretty sharply on Friday with some discussion involving more Chinese tariffs. There's plenty of in the money Delta, obviously. Gamma's moderately supportive at 140. If 140 were lost, it would probably fall back to 130 relatively fast. IV is not really as blown out as you would expect it to be. Options are actually kind of still relatively cheap over the 30-day period, but IV10 is coming down really sharply. So probably some vol shorting coming in. There's not a lot of room to the upside. Maybe like 140, 150, but plenty of room to move back down. Should this fail. Yeah, I would be interested to see if this doesn't move much higher than like 145. I might start to sell off a little bit. Baba is historically prone to very, very sharp reversals on its rallies, as you can see. So if I saw some signs of weakness or a loss of 140 on this, I would probably consider shorting it. Double dose gamer gives me headaches. That's probably the theobromine. I don't take double doses of it. I take it and then I just something like with caffeine alongside it with more caffeine because it's really low on the caffeine side. So like green tea or something like that. Straight to Nvidia and the carry trade. Hold on, I'm thinking. SMCI looks like it got a little blown out. Delta and Gamma are starting to fall off there, so profit taking driving some downside. That's gonna get support around maybe 55 or 50. Gamma doesn't fall off too quickly, so yeah, I could see this getting like 50-52 support, maybe. After the profit taking is done. IV's still pretty elevated on the 10 and the 30. Historic vol hasn't quite caught up with it, so I would say this is more likely to bounce and move back to another upside test. Reddit. I'm just running through a couple that are left before I'm out of time. Reddit looks like shit. Maybe it's headed pretty low. Failure of delta neutral on Reddit is pretty fucking bearish. VN's falling back really, really quickly. There's a little bit of a spike in gamma on Friday, but delta continues to fall off. Volatility is down pretty low. Yeah, it's kind of running out of gamma to lose to the downside though, so maybe support. Yeah, I might just get support right around here. On what though? There's no fucking. There's nothing. Like, where's all the positioning on this fucking stock? Uh, I don't. I don't know what this is gonna do. This could keep. I mean, technically, this could just keep selling off. I'd say if it loses like 155. Thought you were only doing the top 10. Well, only five of them had more than two votes. Or two or more votes, because nobody fucking uses the thing. Anyway, I'm done now. That's all I'm gonna do for today. If you guys have a ticker and I didn't get to it, and you really want to know about it, shoot me a DM and I'll think about it. I'll be around most of the rest of the day, so let's see. Turn that off. And those off. There. I'll slap that in Pickle's picks for you guys for tonight. And you guys can take a screenshot of it if you want to. Posted those for you. All right. Now, let's best open trading view. That's okay. Boom. Go.
The rest
Oh
is
yeah, okay.
Doing. Are we doing stream stuff?
Well, sorry, you do this like 6 mile long list of shit, so it's hard for me to keep track of where you're at.
Yeah,
I'm doing
that's right.
stream stuff.
Yeah, let's do
What's
the
up,
stream
Nick?
shit.
All right, I'll be in the other room.
All right.
I'm not upset. Unsubscribes. Just tell me what ticker you want and fucking DM me.
That's probably something stupid. I mean, we have DJT. What could be dumber than that?
It's true. I get asked about like the weirdest tickers. Like we trade options. Go find a liquid options market and ask me questions about that. Don't ask me about some like dividend heavy domestic manufacturer with like 3 calls on their options chain.
Yeah, there's like 1,000 boomers out there that would love to talk to you all day about that stock.
I did talk about it because
Just tell them to go find a boomer and be like, hey.
I only talked about it because it looked really, really bearish, and I think they were bullish on it.
How do you feel about dividends? Boomers love dividends.
Well, then they hate right now because no one's doing dividends anymore. And why would boomers like dividends when stock buybacks give them a tax advantage?
Because they don't earn enough stock to take advantage of buybacks.
Because they're retired, so they need to. If they're not getting cash flow from their holdings, they have to sell their holdings.
Yeah.
Yeah, fixed income, lame.
Don't you ever talk badly about fixed income, Doric? Fixed income's the best.
Income. I know. I was about to say fixed income is something that I'm extremely interested in.
Dork. The only thing more valuable than labor is no labor.
What, getting money for doing nothing?
Yeah.
That's cool.
We call that capital.
Yes, that is much more important than labor or output.
It used to be called the rentier class, but now we call it the capital class.
It also used to be called the bourgeoisie.
Turn money into more money via the act of doing nothing.
Right.
Because they're income investors,
it's not the act of doing
growth
nothing.
investors. Yeah. Well, income can be growth too if it's compounding. So it's. I mean, there's the S&P forward earnings yield is 3.22%. So or 3.32. So do it that what you will, but I'd rather have a 5% dividend than buy Nvidia.
Oh, well, I mean, in terms of my argument, it's the same thing.
Yeah,
Money's more money.
Money's more money.
You didn't do anything. You just clicked a button and smelled your own farts for a little bit in your office and thought very highly of yourself and then went about your day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you see, JFresh, though, you are doing something, though. You are investing money into a company and providing them with the cash that they need to perform the operations they need to run the business and potentially even invest that money into growth in the business.
Well, you know what? If the thing of value is the investment and not the labor, then just make up things and just invest in that. And there's no labor, there's no output because that's not the valuable part. Oh wait, shit, we did that. Crypto.
Okay, crypto, I agree, is exactly the embodiment of what you're saying. You buy the thing, you do nothing, maybe it'll be worth more,
I don't know.
and
You
then
buy
hopefully you
the thing,
sell it.
nobody does anything, and then you sell it for more later. There's simply the illusion of people doing things, but nobody has to actually do anything, right? And now it's gotten to be the most craven, dark version of that, where we don't even pretend like people are doing work. It's just, hey, I'm gonna launch a coin, and it's called blowjob coin.
Why have you not? Why have you not minted this yet?
Did you know Yi is launching a coin? Are you guys gonna buy $10,000 worth?
No,
I
I'm
am.
YOLOing everything into it. I got a
Nice.
HELOC ready to go.
Nice.
you don't have any equity in your home yet.
Yeah, it
I
does.
actually do. I have
Yeah.
a good amount.
Okay, yeah, you did pretty
That's
you
why I
did
keep
pretty.
telling him to sell your house, but he doesn't listen to me. He's like, I
I put a
live
bunch of money
here.
down on
It's my home.
it. Yeah, I have a bunch of equity in my house, and I've had people beg to do HELOCs with me, like a couple or like two or three different underwriters have like sent me those weird mail things that say you've been pre-approved for 50 grand, and I'm like, to do what with?
You put it in a company with 10% annualized growth, low debt, and a 5% dividend.
Yeah, can you show me one of those? That's not a value trap.
Yeah.
Is it Exxon Mobil?
No.
Oh, then I'm interested.
Speaking of ExxonMobil and value traps and the future of technology, I've started I might be losing my mind a little bit more than usual because I've started to think that the story we all take for granted that sounds absolutely fucking stupid and insane is that oil is old dinosaurs.
No, it's like old plants.
How do we know?
Because we know how it's made.
What if?
That's why it's called fossil fuels.
Well,
Right.
they've made they've made
They
You-
call it.
If you say, what if aliens injected it into the planet, I'm going to be really
No,
angry with you.
no, no. I mean, obviously, there has to be a carbon feed source for it. But what if
God.
the carbon feed source is like coming from the ocean and oil actually is just naturally replenished over time?
I
It's
mean, it
non.
is
It's technically
just really
non-renewable.
slowly. I mean,
That's what
you can
that's what they
you
say, but
can
nobody knows where it comes from and they keep getting surprised like, "Oh, there's more."
well, so oil is made mostly with like algae and shit, like that just gets fucking it dries up on the dirt and then gets buried with more dirt and then you end up with
Rock.
oil.
Rock. It's under
I just
rock.
don't feel like you have any
Whatever.
proof of that claim. That's just a fantastical
Well,
theory that
they've
sounds.
haven't they made oil in a lab using algae?
You can, sure, you can make any. That's what I'm
And
saying.
if you
Yes,
can,
carbon feedstock, but the path to go from one thing to another, I feel, is a mystery. There's probably lots of different ways to get to the same product.
yeah, you just have a bunch of fucking yeah, hydrocarbons, right? Or not hydrocarbons, but
Okay, but it takes millions of years to replenish like a tiny amount of it. And then
I mean,
also like the
there's
biomass of the planet is significantly lower than it used to be.
how much biomass is in the ocean right now?
I mean,
Nobody has an accurate measurement of that shit.
okay,
wait,
but
is
how much
Jay
of the
Fresh, are you how much did Exxon Mobil pay you for this talk?
None. I'm just saying, it seems like of all the theories that everybody just takes for granted, that one doesn't seem to be the strongest.
So here's my whole thing with the whole like should we use renewables thing. I think to myself this, right? If I run my car in my garage with the garage door closed, everybody in my house dies after a little while, right? So I like to imagine the earth like a big giant garage with the garage door closed and think to myself, should I just run the car in here? Sure, I'll be okay for a little
Yeah, but
bit.
that's a different argument. My argument is strictly limited to the nature of oil, where it comes from.
Oh, so you're saying scarcity is false.
I'm saying I don't know.
Ew.
So if scarcity was false, right? Why do we not have oil production facilities?
I'm saying that we don't know how the Earth is making it.
If we don't, dude, we making oil, if you could make oil out of just random shit that isn't already oil, you'd be the richest person on earth, bar
You
none.
literally
Is
can't.
JFresh trying to present us with an argument from ignorance, but pretend like
So
it's
if we
something
so wait,
else?
wait, but Girk, there's a
You
really big
can't
opportunity in this.
you can make oil in the lab. It's not hard. It's
It's not
just
Okay, now
easy.
scale it.
it's just
Scale
no,
it.
it's not hard. It's just an issue of how much energy it takes to make it. It's not energetically favorable over other processes, but it's not hard to make.
So what we do is with our baby farms, right? Any excess baby paste for the baby nutrition, any excess baby paste, we go and turn it into oil and sell it
How long
to
does it
North Korea.
take? How long does it take a jug of spunk to anaerobically decay into a hydrocarbon?
I'm finding out right now, Girk.
I'm just saying,
It's not Jenkum, it's Junkum.
it just seems like a really weird thing that everybody believes, but I don't know that anybody's actually been presented. Like the average person has definitely not been presented with enough information to say this is how oil's made.
I feel
Well, I think that so you almost are implying that there has not been considerable amounts of research into the scarcity and replenishability of the global oil supply.
Yeah, but there's also been a ton of research into dinosaurs, and then like 3 years ago, they're like, "Oh, by the way, all the dinosaurs actually had feathers."
well
Okay,
because the feathers rotted away, so we didn't know.
yeah, okay, but we've been making a lot of guesses and saying this is true.
So they
It's
were
much
just
like
giant feathered
oh, there's what's
dragons.
Yeah,
really more of a
I've been saying dinosaurs were chickens since I was like 4 years old. It just took a really long time for the academic community to come around
well, how do we know that they had feathers?
because we found
Because we found
fossilized
one.
feather evidence.
Yeah, we found a feather attached to a dinosaur.
How do we know that it didn't
Featherdance.
get covered in lava with a chicken?
And we don't.
Right? I mean, it's like we're still making a lot of assumptions with the evidence we have.
Are we witnessing JFresh turning into a flat earther?
I
How
think
do
he
we know
spent too much
that
time with Poopy
really?
Pants, and he's like, well, no one actually knows.
I mean,
Yeah, no one actually knows if moist
obviously
greenhouse is a real thing.
The Earth's not flat because we have a lot of evidence that it's not flat.
Aristarchus was the first person to come up
Like
with
you
empirical
mean
evidence that the Earth was not
Well, the
flat.
difference
you mean like going
between
outside of the Earth and looking at it being an
you can measure
oblate spheroid?
you can measure the non-flatness of the Earth from the Earth. You don't even have to leave the surface of the Earth to measure it.
Yeah,
Uh,
Aristarchus back in like fucking what was like 400 AD or something. He just walked around to a couple different places and figured out the Earth's circumference to
That's
within like I
that's
want to say it
the
was like
difference.
a
You're
thousand
saying like
miles.
this is something that I can measure right now today versus something that happened ostensibly millions or billions of years ago that I'm extrapolating based on like some fucking feathers I found in the dirt.
So you could also say the same thing about the moist greenhouse effect. We've never witnessed it. Ice ages, you know,
Yeah,
oh yeah, or global temperature cycles based on, ice core analysis, right? That's
yeah,
all just the same thing, feathers and amber.
I don't disagree with you.
So by that so
My
my
point is,
conclusion from
we
all
all
this is
know
we
a
should
lot
drill.
less than we think we know, or we should
We
have a
should
lot more
drill.
evidence than what we
You
believe.
know what shocks me is there's like a lot of people that believe in sniper rifles, but also think the Earth is flat.
Mm.
That's
Well,
tough.
you talk about
It's tough to like.
flat earthers that lick Elon's boot.
How many of those people that believe in sniper
Is
rifles have
Elon a
actually
flat earther? He owns a
I don't
space
know. Well,
company. That's very
well,
concerning.
no. What I'm saying is that flat earthers are down for Elon, and yet Elon has a space company, and yet flat earthers believe that space is some kind of illusion.
Wait, are flat
Do you guys
earthers
remember the flat earther that we got in chat that one time?
Yeah,
That was great.
it's like such a wild theory that I still can't believe that people actually believe that. It's just it's got to be a big joke, right?
I love when flat earthers prove themselves wrong and they're like, we need to improve the experiment, and then they more precisely prove themselves wrong. It's the best. They're like the dude with the light, like he did like a
That
laser
that
tag.
documentary was amazing.
It's so good.
Just like ended it with them proving themselves wrong.
But hold on. Flat earthers are pro Elon Musk. They're technocratic. That seems strange to me. I want to
Well,
explore this.
they're pro. They have a far right ideology generally.
They're pro ignorance.
Yeah, they just like they have a huge, very strong appeal to authorities, like the exact opposite of you, Jay Fresh. Like imagine someone who loves somebody else in a position of authority who tells them what to do. That's these people.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's. I don't know if I would categorize them as that.
No, they're
They're
more like rich people are the best and they know everything.
they're appealing to a different authority from the one that they think the other team is appealing to because they want to be defiant against the other. So
Well,
I think it
I'm
is an
okay.
act of defiance, not a. And obviously, they're falling prey to the same mistake as the other side. But
Would you call
I
them
think,
rebels without a cause?
yeah, I think that's probably pretty accurate.
I'm kind of okay with it so long as the flat earthers get so committed to the bit that they go and find more empirical evidence that shows them that they're wrong and they just continue to deny it, because then you end up with an amazing psychological analysis on a large group of people.
I mean, at that point, like once they've checked out from reality that much, you're probably going to get more interesting information from something like, say, a financial pickle cult.
Yeah. Pickle themed.
I just
Yeah.
want to see the new
We're
and
not
exciting ways
it's
they
not
figure
it's
out
not
how to
strictly
measure the
like a
roundness of
cult
the earth.
about pickles. It's just pickle themed. Thematically pickles.
It's not even very deeply thematically linked to pickles. It's very
No.
it's very superficial.
It is. It's actually a superficial link to pickles. I'm not even like a
Yeah, just
huge pickle person. Like I
yeah, it literally is just Girk picked his username because he was like Gherkin it,
yeah,
and then now
literally.
it's a cult.
I was like 13.
At the same time, though, I think all of us have heard you talk for at length about how like the experiences you have eating a good gherkin.
I don't like gherkins. I only eat dill and half dill pickles. And yeah, I've had some good ones.
Ooh, half dill. Half dill is pretty good.
It is. It's
I've got a
almost
hot
like
take for you
it's almost like
guys.
a spicy cucumber.
Yeah.
I've got a hot take. Bread and butter pickles are really good.
Oh, fuck you. That's
Bread
disgusting.
and
Those
butter
are just like
pickles.
soaked in corn syrup.
Bread and butter pickles are so gross. I don't know what it is. They
All the
just don't.
sweet pickles are foul.
So
Except sweet midgets.
my mom has a bread and butter pickle recipe from her great grandma or her grandma from like the Dust Bowl and shit. And those things are they're sweet but they're savory. They're
Hmm.
not just like a sweet cucumber. It's a sweet and savory mix. You still have like mustard seed in there and other things.
You know what's great?
And dill.
The little Japanese like pickle thing they make, Sunamono or whatever, where it's like the sliced cucumber and then they just put some like rice wine vinegar on it and it's just delicious immediately.
Yeah, I pickled carrots that way. Yeah, you just splash some vinegar on it and then a little bit of like some weird spice. I've
That's
done
the
like five
greatest
spice.
recipe I've ever.
Okonomiyaki? I don't know. No,
Has everybody left yet?
that's like fried. Something fried. No, we still have people here. You know when we talk about food, it draws in more people than finance.
Mm.
Food is just more popular.
Well, last night I made burrito bowls.
That's cool. Yeah, we actually have more viewers than we did 5 minutes ago because we started talking about cucumbers and pickles. Fucking YouTube algorithm loves that shit. If I prepped food while watching the markets, there'd be like 10,000 people in here every day.
Sounds like the start of a great OnlyFans idea.
Just me naked, making pickles and watching the market.
We have nothing but an apron on.
But it's on
So when
my
you turn
back.
around to grab something, your bare booty shows up on the camera feed.
Oh shit! Like a
Yeah.
sneak peek.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gotta be tasteful. Yeah, it can't be because people are gonna be watching this at work.
I was thinking about wearing the apron like a cape, like a superhero, and
No,
then just the rest of me is naked.
no, that's too many other. That's too many ideas. You've already got food and markets. You don't need like superheroes in there too. It's too many things.
Yeah, it has to be tasteful nudity, otherwise YouTube will shut you down.
I mean, if you start adding things like superheroes and other things, then the only person you'll appeal to is Squamsk.
Actually, I can post it on YouTube if I just wear a transparent body sock.
Ooh.
So
When Gamma Strike transparent body socks.
it's just the gradient. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Be like a figure skating outfit.
Yeah. With sequins and shit. I'm down.
Of course.
Yeah, the logo is made out of sequins on the front.
We could, oh my god, we could film our first asset-based music video while wearing them.
And we're just all like just figure skating to
Yeah.
classical music, and then it's just Gamma Strike.
I was thinking interpretive dance, but yeah.
At some point, I want to do that thing where I grab Dork's arms and I pull him through my legs from under me into a standing position.
I was thinking we would do this for our annual Nutcracker performance.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's always good to give back to the arts.
Yeah, and we just do the Nutcracker wearing that.
Nice. I've danced to the Nutcracker. I'm ready.
Perfect.
I was the
Now everyone's envisioning the Nutcracker song with 3 grown men wearing these transparent body socks doing ballet.
I was the Nutcracker.
Were you
Which
the Nutcracker?
contextually in the story is like a 30-year-old soldier that wakes up a small girl in the middle of the night and protects her from a royal rat monarchy.
So if you're the Nutcracker in the performance, you have to wear one of those Yarnus things and like a Borat banana hammock, you know, one of those things with the Gamma Strike logo right on the front.
Yeah,
And that's
okay.
the Nutcracker outfit.
I was thinking, what if we get like an Iron Man costume with the Gamma Strike? We could probably just Photoshop that shit.
Probably could. But then we're probably infringing some kind of copyright.
So it's just Disney. All we have to
Sure, what
do
are they
is
gonna do?
all we
They
have
have
to
enough
do
money
is
to
sue them.
run.
We just sue them and they'll
Yeah.
buy us out. Iron Condor Man. TMGS. Yeah, we'll put wings on it and then we're an Iron Condor.
I'm just
It's totally
imagining
not the
that
same.
I'm imagining that this Nutcracker performance has to be like very chaotic and have like a lot of food smashing and things. Like it's got a little slapstick thing to it, like Gallagher meets Gamma Strike meets the Nutcracker.
So we have like giant melons, but they're painted like nuts.
Yeah,
And
like
we
by
smash
the
them with
end,
a hammer.
yeah. So like by the end, we're all just like covered in watermelon juice and like pies and shit.
I thought we were going to be covered in watermelon juice by the end, regardless of. All right.
And then at the end, when everyone's just like shocked and in silence, we have somebody in the audience and say, "What was this performance called?" And we say, "The Aristocrats."
You did do ballet? I did. Yeah, unfortunately. I've just started becoming comfortable talking about it in my old age.
Yeah, I'm sure those classes were traumatic.
They were. I had this guy who was from the Bolshoi, who was my teacher, and he was like 95 years old, and he had a little cane, and he wore like cowboy boots, and he would kick me with them when I did things wrong. And then I had to wear a dance belt when I was like 12 around 18-year-old girls, which was rough. It was rough.
That's probably why you're such a ladies' man now. Is you're able to be humble because you just look back to those times and remember I have come such a long way.
Yeah, I'm the humblest.
All right, so market crash tomorrow.
Oh yeah, about the market.
That's right. I forgot. That's what this is about.
Yeah.
Kind of.
We had a nasty drop on Friday.
It was
That
rough.
was there was a few factors. I mean we saw the first period of contraction in services. Well, just S&P. We'll see if that gets mirrored in ISM, but uh yeah, the first period of contraction in services broadly since 2022, which is not, as a service-based economy, is a very, very bad look. It would be like if China's PMIs were capable of showing their manufacturing moving below 54%.
They're not
Um,
capable of that.
no, no, they never drop that low. That would be an affront against the People's Party, and you would be gulagged.
Yes, exactly. No, when you run a factory in China and they ask you how you're doing, you say excellent. That's the rule.
Yeah. What's your
Yeah,
GDP?
then
5%.
right. Um,
But
yeah,
only
there
only
was
30% of
PMI.
your population's employed. Nope, GDP is 5%.
Yeah, the employed population is working real hard here.
Yeah, yeah, the productivity of the 30% of employed people is just through the roof. And now they have AI. So just imagine what it could be like in the future.
We've coupled the AI with their fervent inspiration by the ideals of the People's Party.
They've plugged the nuclear reactors directly into the AI of the workforce.
AI. Is that the correct term for plural? I thought it was anuses.
It probably is. That would be the Latin.
Although ani sounds really cool.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you posted an article about OCC won't let you
Yeah, yeah,
be.
that was the other thing is the OCC won't let you be what.
Yeah, they basically said the thing we've been saying for the past like year and a half, 2 years or 3 years or however long, 3 years roughly, a
Two
little
and a
under three
half.
years is that
Yeah.
yeah that fucking zero DTEs, right, with how much they're being used and how like just massive quantities are being used, they fucking concentrate a shit ton of risk in the ultra short term.
Are you telling me that somebody selling 40,000 puts, 15 minutes to expiry at 0.001 moneyness is a risk to the financial system? That's what the OCC is
Maybe.
saying. And people didn't like that shit, so they closed a lot of their short puts in case the OCC passes that. They are pushing back against it. They have argued that that's absurd. How else are they going to make yield? And the OCC is taking their comments under consideration.
OCC should also consider that people made yield long before zero DTEs were a daily occurrence.
It's different now. The banks used to
Okay.
have money.
Well, banks also used to not be allowed to do stupid shit.
Yeah, we got rid of that though. We're
Yeah.
like, you know what the problem is with our already really unstable investment banks? They're not taking enough risk in capital markets. And we fixed that.
Hmm.
No, Friday's drop was crazy. Volatility basically rocketed throughout the entirety of the day. I think there was like a 50-minute period where like VIX just only moved up. It
Yeah,
was
yields were interesting too.
yeah, big drawdown in yields definitely showed a pretty strong flight to safety. We got a lot of higher performance in like lower risk assets on the equity side. So like health technology, consumer non-durables, communications, utilities, um, while everything else just fucking tanked. Um, so yeah, a little bit of fear introduced, not only with the breakdown the breakdown in services expansion seen in the S&P PMIs, but also I believe it was Michigan consumer sentiment implied f like higher near term inflation, and then also drastically reduced current condition expectations and consumer sentiment overall has
It
been on a
almost
pretty
it
steep
almost sounds
dive.
like it almost sounds like stagflation.
Like high, well, but inflation's
We
going
saw the
up.
stag and deflation.
Mm. I would agree with you, except I think we're just gonna get a massive downturn in growth and an upturn in inflation.
That's
That's called
stagflation.
stagflation.
Well, it depends on how far they go in either direction, but okay. A period of stagflation, sure.
Yeah, stagflation followed by deflation.
Yeah, I mean it's just the massive printing of money and then the
Well,
non useful deployment of that capital because there's so much. When you look at like
Yep.
Microsoft, is people are saying over the weekend that their channel checks for Microsoft shows that they're surprised canceling a bunch of contracts to expand data centers and other things and trying to say like, oh well, it's just a power issue. There's not enough power to support it, but like it's just because nobody wants all this shit.
If by power you mean revenue, then they're probably right.
Yeah, yeah. But it's this non-productive deployment of capital, which is fueled by the fact that there's just so much growth in capital that
Yeah.
yeah causes the stagflation. So yeah, when the AI bubble bursts, there's going to be hell to pay, and it's going to be, but there's still going to be a ton of money being printed. So it's going to be the worst. It's just going to be the worst.
You see, all I care about out of all of this, though, is whether or not Jeppy blows up.
Yeah. But I
That's
was
all I care
listening to
about.
something the other day, and someone was like trying to make the case that the Federal Reserve this was an experiment of the Federal Reserve to see if you make money really easy, if you create a lot of like durable real growth, like technology driven growth and innovation driven growth. And they were like, well, I guess AI is kind of proving that out to be true. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Like people are still
AI is the
so
experiment then, and it's going terribly.
AI and crypto and all of the
And, no, humanoid
super
robots too, right?
super leveraged real estate folks who
Quantum.
are it just all of that is just showing you that the money is too easy and it's just creating maladjusted investment.
Yeah. It's no, yeah, that's why we have like the quantum hype, the humanoid robot hype, the AI hype. Yeah.
We just jump from one hype to the next because there's plenty of money to steamroll it.
Just jump
And
into it.
the only way to get rich is to gamble at this point, right? You're gambling on things mooning, right? And it doesn't really matter what moons as long as you have a shot at getting it
Oh, I have a
because
I have a
you
theory, J
can't work
Fresh.
your way to riches anymore.
I have a theory. So to prove definitively that you're in a bubble, like a speculative bubble, all you need is a long enough string of upsets in major sports events. If enough upsets occur in major sporting events, you should end up with a recession as the outcome.
Because of gambling.
Yes, because everyone in America is addicted to gambling.
I mean, but
Imagine
that's
gambling on
very
sports when
new.
there's a financial market right in front of you.
You know how big the sports gambling industry is, Girk? It's
Yeah,
insane.
I do.
It's unbelievably huge.
I know.
Which tells you that that's a whole bunch of people that could be trading zero DTEs. But instead, because the thing is they want to do their DD on athletes and on teams, right? So it makes more sense to them. And it kind of makes sense to me too. Like in that aspect, it is more predictable than the stock market. But
Hmm.
a lot of people also overestimate their knowledge of such things because they mostly, go for the odds, right? Play with the odds.
Yeah.
Sure, you get a lower payout, but like playing the upset is a loser's game. So everyone's playing the odds. Everyone's just sitting there thinking they're geniuses, saying, "Oh, well, the odds are in favor of this thing,"
Bulls
unless
and
they got some
Bears.
kind of edge, right?
What if the
So if
Bulls
you
play
guys
the
are,
Bears?
I mean, that's the thing. So I know
Crossing the streams.
the guys I play video games with, those ex-cons, all they did was sports betting in prison, like with commissary. And once they got out, one of the dudes, he does like these. He spends like $100, like opening these crazy parlays, and then generally one of them will like 100x. It'll be like go from $10 to like $1,000, and they'll offer to cash them out. I was shocked to find out that he doesn't always cash those out.
Huh.
And that goes to tell you, though, that these people betting on sports, they're not as smart as they seem, at least when it comes to their greed and mitigating it.
So, in like sports parlays, same like SPX ratio spreads.
Exactly. Yeah,
Hmm.
you're exactly right.
I mean, if people were good at betting on sports, there wouldn't be so many sports betting services.
Do we need to open up Gamma Strike sports betting analysis?
Well, yes, but only to prove my theory that enough upsets in sports will cause a recession if
How do
you
we
are
get
in
sports
a speculative
data? Is
bubble.
there an API for it?
I'm sure there's a million of them.
Let's do it.
I can't handle it. It's going to be so non-standard. I'm going
What's
to
the
pull
but
my
what's
hair
the
out.
IV? What's the IV of a 10-leg parlay? That's
We
what I
can
want to
just
know.
we can build the pricing models.
We could.
You need the data. And there are companies that provide like up to the minute data on performance of players and things, but you need that data to make your models.
Okay.
Yeah, a player's like an options contract, right? We just start
I
from
don't
there.
want to. I don't want to do that. It's so much work.
I hate money. Yeah.
I mean, I think the easier route would just be to mint a new crypto. And then it
Yeah,
doesn't
well,
even do
no, we
anything.
meant a crypto that can only be used to bet on our website.
It's already
Oh,
been done. That's not even new.
I know.
That's how a lot of companies are getting around betting laws or trying to. They're claiming that, oh, you buy our token and use the token.
We'll just make Dork run the service from the Philippines and we're good.
that's not a bad idea.
1 second.
But then I'd
Did
be
you
in a
hear about
weird
all
time
the
zone.
did you hear about all the crypto that got stolen by North Korea this week?
Oh, yeah, that was a thing. How much did Bitcoin go down?
Ivy is
None.
the yeah. I don't know if they probably haven't sold it yet. I don't know how much I don't know what this company is, but they stole like 1.4 billion dollars worth of crypto from their cold storage.
Nice.
Yeah. They could just go to the FDIC. I'm sure it's insured. There's laws. They'll get their money back, I'm sure.
Yeah, the SEC and those guys are going to definitely clamp down on those thieves.
On this
Interpol's going to go
completely
after them.
unregulated token.
Right. That represents nothing. Well, it represents a math equation.
Proof of work. It represents
You're a
wasted
prick.
energy.
Yeah, right. It represents degrees Celsius you have heated the earth.
Yeah, the fraction of time you have brought us closer to the heat death of the universe.
We should just make a coin that is measured in entropy. That'd be fun. When you buy the coin, the entropy goes up. Or when you sell it, so price only goes up.
Maybe at the start of the next meme cycle, but not at the end of this one.
That's true. I feel like we are in for a crypto. So, okay. So that brings me to the next thing, though. When MicroStrategy to zero?
Do they even make money? What do they do?
They don't. They just hold Bitcoin. Well, they lever into Bitcoin, so maybe they make money by doing that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do they lend? Do they lend their Bitcoin? Is there Bitcoin
I have
lending
no
yet?
idea. So over the last 3 months, the SPX is down.
Well, yeah. I mean, look at it. Just look at the chart.
It might be flat. Hold on. 11, 20.
It's flat since November.
Yeah, it's flat. Well, over the last 3 months, it's flat.
Yeah,
Look at those returns.
I know, right? It's great. It's you know what though, Jay Fresh, the 3%, you know, EPS returns all come in the last 15 minutes of trading, anyways. So
That's true. Yeah, so it looks like in general, since Yellen goosed the market, the SPXW chain is around 420 billion delta, and right now it's sitting at 360. So it's lost.
nice.
Yeah.
I'm
So
back.
We're just
yeah, it's fun.
quantifying how fucked the market is right now.
And
How
the
long
market's
until
just
billionaire access to Gamma Strike? It's available for you
never.
guys. You can just. What the hell? You guys can just go sign up.
Yeah, the website is open.
Yeah, it's
Are you asking for free Gamma Strike? No,
that's not even a thing. Oh wait, that's the wrong
no
one.
discounts.
So we're flat over the last 3 months, but our delta's fallen off like crazy. That's pretty cool.
Starting to fall off. Yeah.
Yeah. Should I pull that up?
Um.
Are we talking
Well,
options
overall,
macro data?
we weren't talking macro yet. I was just looking at SPXW, but I mean, macro is still kind of flat. I mean, we had that like mega pump into the end of last year where just like we just blew right into all this call delta, but that has since started to come down. Well, it dropped off at the end of the year and it's just basically been flat since then. I would like to see more of it fall off, but it looks like right now it's like 1.5 billion, or sorry, 1.5 trillion out of about, where are we at now? 4.3 trillion is set to expire next month. So like 1/3 of the market is set to expire on March OPEX. So I say we crash then.
Hmm. Yeah, we're getting awfully close to like I think we're like at the peak of where put leverage is relative to moneyness right now. So this should be where they try to bounce shit generally.
Oh
Big
yeah,
green teen on
yeah.
everything.
But
Yeah.
did you see like IWM puts and XRT puts
Yeah.
on Friday? This fucking shit just blew up.
Which it just still blows my mind that people are gambling on IWM.
Small
Like, what
caps.
is the What is the thesis there?
Don't insult Poopy like that.
Well, at least
Right?
he's playing like the trends, but people who are like investing in it as a thesis is like, oh, it's going to go up. It's got to catch up. It's the
It's
dumbest thing.
it mostly has to do with diversification of a portfolio.
They could diversify into cash. Nobody has any of that.
Whoa, Jay Fresh, I'm gonna need you to calm down. Okay? Nobody invests in cash, all right? Cash is trash.
That one was-
It's true. Berkshire Hathaway kind of likes cash right now. They have a lot of it.
Is this even working?
You're working. What? I don't know.
I hate our
Our scanner.
database of tickers.
I think our scanner broke.
Probably.
What number is IWM, Dork?
Oh fuck. I can actually tell you. Give me like 3 seconds. I will.
It's not alphabetical for some reason.
No, it's not. Here, I got it for you. Just check the check the chat in here. There you go.
Of course. Why wouldn't it be that?
Yeah, it's obvious to the reader.
Talking about you, Atomic. Putting you on blast.
Yeah, everybody yell at me.
Yeah, there it goes.
Where there what goes?
The exposure scanner.
Yeah, Gert's just screwing around, looking at all the fun stuff from the end of the day.
Ooh,
trying
Spy
to spoil our
picked up a
products.
bunch of Delta.
Yeah, I wonder if that was the puts.
Yeah, I think it was puts going in the money.
Yeah, it's almost
Yeah.
like when you're mostly leveraged and sold puts that it moves down, create rapid
Yeah, look
increases in delta.
look at the gain
It's
and
not a gamma squeeze.
total Delta, but look at the fucking drop in Gex on Spy. It's negative
Totally
5.
not a gamma squeeze.
Negative 5,000%.
It's not a gamma squeeze.
Not yet.
Holy fuck.
No, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, but they're just gonna try to keep rebounding it, right? I mean, I feel like we have to go through like 2 or 3 completely failed bounces, which maybe we've started to, right? Because it seemed like really this week, but even also last week, it just seemed like they tried to push and it just got them back to about where they were.
Spy
But
back to
every single time they had
575.
to like every single time they had to like go further into all in, further towards all in.
I think we
And
just need
the question is when do we literally just run out of money? I mean, that's just like where we are in this process, which we're pretty close, but you never know. And then we don't have any eyes on international money, so like figuring out when the precise point is hard to say, but it's pretty clear that based on the
All the
information we
international
presented.
monies in US Treasuries.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I mean, there's just simply, I mean, at some point, people are just gonna have to stop having money to pay bills to buy more, or the Fed's gonna have to start buying stuff.
So let me explain this to Jim Martin's wife real quick, because this might help everybody. So on the exposure scanner, there's a bump in Delta on Spy and a massive drop in Gamma. And so what you're seeing there is that Delta went up because lots of sold puts went in the money. And there's usually like a lot of sold puts just south of spot. And so that drove Delta up. But you'll like after that initial move, you'll usually see Delta fall off on downside moves like that. Because people will start closing those puts that are getting squeezed out.
I
So
think we
it's-
just need 2 days of undefined VIX in a row, and then everything falls apart.
It'd be cool to get some like undefined VIX tomorrow morning.
I mean,
What do we think?
I
Do we
feel like
think we
there's a
keep?
possibility
Do
of
we
that.
think we keep dumping, or they fucking save it in the pre-market?
I say we look at futures, and that'll tell us whether or not our brokerages are going to work or not.
Valid.
I think this one, I've always been pretty. I've had a lot of fun just inversing you guys and be like, oh yeah, they're gonna bounce it. But they have been struggling to bounce it, especially this week. The V's were definitely looked more like actual bear flags that didn't broke down.
Yeah. Well, they've been
Because it hasn't
struggling to
happened
bounce
in
it
like
for
two
like a
years.
month. If nobody's
But I feel like I
noticed.
hadn't seen like a beautiful bear flag on the intraday in like 2 years, and I saw a few this week, and I was like, oh, those are strange.
Yeah.
Um,
What was weird is
yeah,
we
so
were
I don't
getting
know.
like bear flags above GM, like when we had the support.
Yeah, yeah.
We kept failing lower. We know it's dumping tomorrow because Gamma Strike's data provider crashed on Friday. So actually, the options data continued to update. So I should tell you guys about this. The options data continued to update into the end of the day. We weren't getting open like OHLC candles, which is something we're working on, building our own system for anyway. So hopefully that will be less of an issue in the future. But basically, they just stopped giving us price data, but we were still getting all the options data. So that was like the gamma charts and stuff continued to work into the end of the day. But the price data cut off at like, I think it was like, what was it, 2:45 p.m. or something like that. And it was an issue with the API. Hopefully that will be fixed tomorrow. They made a change. Um, but tomorrow morning, first thing, the data may still be out if we have to make any more changes on our end to be compatible with the new system. But we're gonna be keeping an eye on it.
Yeah, and yeah, Nuke has put in a Herculean effort this weekend to try to wean our independence from that weakness there. I mean, this process has been financial data is a mess.
It is.
It's riddled with errors and edge cases, and everybody else. You just assume they're going to let you down, and they're going to let you down in a brand new way every time. So it's just always a game of whack-a-mole, and we're whacking the moles.
Yeah.
And the best way to avoid whack-a-mole is just to reduce your number of providers and get to as many sources as possible and cut out middlemen and build it yourself. But that takes a lot of time, and we're doing it slowly.
Damn. QQQ looks bearish as fuck too. Tomorrow
Ain't
might be
liking shit.
tomorrow might be pretty nasty.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking too. Also, I mean, if they really are causing a lot of government workers to at least be scared. I mean, that's a big source of people who might be incentivized to sell risk assets and move to cash.
Hmm.
And that's going to continue. That's only going to get worse, right?
I don't think the bond market is a big fan of the policies that Trump has been putting into place. Brickenbrattle's been getting a lot of shit lately. And despite being a Trump supporter, he is extraordinarily worried about the the moves Trump has been making in the government relative to our bond market, because the risk for that is priced into our bond market. If you were to try to turn the U.S. into an autocracy, or there was some move to overthrow the validity of our Constitution, the bond market would shit the bed so fucking hard. It's not even funny.
Full
It'll be
faith and
interesting to
credit
watch
of the
all.
Republican of North Korea.
Yeah,
Well,
it's going to be interesting watching yields rocket and the stock market tank at the same time.
Which, if anybody here owns Bitcoin, by the way, North Korea, if you missed it earlier, was able to steal $1.4 billion out of cold storage. I think it was largely in Bitcoin. It could have been other things, but if you invest in crypto, congratulations, you have helped fund a terrorist government to create more nuclear, to get closer to nuclear capabilities. So
Everyone was talking about
pat your,
that, and I was like,
pat,
I'm so glad they got
yeah,
their money stolen.
pat yourselves on the back for a job well done.
That's what happens when you. That's imagine taking a real currency, like a real fiat currency, and using it to go buy nothing.
Yeah. It's well, usually it's just a donation to the crypto miners, but this time it was a donation to a terrorist government hell bent on getting their hands on nuclear capabilities and wiping out a significant portion of the earth. So you guys are nailing your donations.
Those are probably sold puts. I highly doubt they're bought. By the way, Jim Martin's
Which
wife.
ones?
595 SPY. It's about
Oh yeah,
135,000 contracts that expire this Friday.
most likely, sure.
This is Catching the Knife 101.
Yes.
Now, say things turn for the worse and those puts happen to go in the money. That would be very bad.
Yeah, oof.
Yeah. Like straight to like what? SPX like 58.30, 58.50. Something like that.
Yeah, that'd
That
be
would be
gnarly.
rough.
Yeah.
My spy put would print like crazy.
It'd be nice. It would be crazy if it went down and stayed there. That's where it would cause a lot of pain. Like they keep saving themselves, but if they actually get stuck, ugh, it's gonna be rough.
Yeah. It's going to be more than rough. It's going to be the intersection of the stock market and the economy.
I mean, the stock market is the economy right now.
That's what I mean. Yeah, we're going to see that like full bore, like that intersection become extremely apparent. Access to credit is going to tank because volatility went up. How crazy is that?
Well, all the credit's being extended as margin anyway.
So
I know.
KMac brings up an interesting, stupid Twitter data point, but there is some validity to it. 90 out of 94 Fridays that are down 1.5% continue down Monday. There's a reason for that. When you have that big of a move to the downside, like everyone gets squeezed. Right? Everyone that's selling like the 0.2, 0.3 delta puts gets squeezed really, really fucking hard, and vol picks up really fast. And so over the weekend, what that generally leads to is like there's a very high demand for volatility when the futures markets open. And that demand for volatility continues, usually drives like a continuation to the downside. It's very rare that you get a reversal after like, and that's why I always like when I do TA and stuff, I always tell people like watch for like weakness in the back half of the week, like going into the weekend, because that's how you get like those breakdowns that get a significant amount of continuation into the early part of the next week. Why not mean reversion though? The mean reversion comes eventually, but I mean, first you have all the momentum of the downside move that just carries through. And when that starts to wind down and you get some profit taking and some support built, then you have, a chance at mean reversion and it moves back, towards the upside. Remember, the more it goes down, the more people are incentivized to bet on it going up.
Yep.
I don't know. Do you guys agree with that? I assume you do because you're just completely silent. Or JFresh
Oh no.
completely disagrees.
Just
Yeah,
listening.
he's just gonna let you ramble. I don't disagree. There is a lot of repositioning that does need to happen, whether it's hedging off that big giant hit to your margin or stuff like that. A lot of shit needs to happen. But yeah, it does sort of ultimately kind of end up in there being continued high volatility, right? Until everyone can hedge off all their stupid shit and everyone is confident that this is not going to be a protracted decline, right? Or a protracted increase in volatility. That's so you need to have confidence in the market in order to have like those sorts of recoveries. And something like this, it doesn't just spike volatility, it also shakes confidence, right? When you have an intraday drop of $100 in SPX, like sure the percentage points are less than it was back then, like in like 2023 or 22, but still it's a lot. It's a big move. It's a big sell off. All the volume on SPY too, that would make you nervous if you were just a buy SPY and chill guy, or you'd be excited, right? And you wouldn't be buying right now because you're excited to buy the dip once it looks like the dip's done dipping.
Yeah, once the dip reverses, which it
Yeah,
hasn't
so
done
yeah.
yet.
Yeah, dip buyers are going to be slightly reticent to buy the dip until they know that they're not catching the knife, they're buying the dip, and that means that there is already the reversal happening. They don't care about nailing the bottom, they care about confirming the reversal. But you need someone to step in and do that, and that person is generally these highly leveraged participants that are doing things like vol strategies and shit like that that are currently shitting their britches while they figure out how to get things back in order and their margin is no longer being squeezed.
Nvidia's in kind of a scary spot.
Nvidia's been in a scary spot.
Yeah. Well, Friday they got a big rejection, and they have earnings coming up this week. So IV on Nvidia is sky high, but price is tanking. They have
Yeah,
earnings.
well, I
They
mean,
have earnings coming up on Wednesday.
tech looks just like a giant bag of shit. You see what Apple did?
Yeah. Apple went up.
Apple was wild, dude. So yeah, it's the whole dispersion trade thing is getting all kinds of fucking weird too.
Yeah. If you looked at like core spikes
I
so
haven't.
fucking hard. Yeah. Well, there was a lot
Did
of
it?
there was a big spread between like core 1 and 3 months, and they just like snapped back together on Friday
Nice.
and spiked hard as fuck. I'm forward yield on volatility ended up positive at the end of the day, which is the first
Oh yeah,
time
I
we've
mean
seen
everyone was
that
buying.
since like Feb 3rd. So I think there's
I
a
mean everyone
really
was buying fucking bonds, dude. No wonder.
yeah, I think there's a really good chance we see more demand for volatility and more demand for bonds tomorrow too.
I don't think you're wrong.
Carry trades
Especially if
coming
these
getting kind of low also.
if you also contextualize this with the idea that margin requirements are going to increase for zero DTEs, yeah, people are going to want more
Well,
treasuries.
they're not implementing that till September, but talking about it's freaking everyone out.
Well, yeah, I mean, you want to lock in some decent yields, right? When it looks like, especially when it looks like fucking services PMI is contracting. I mean, yeah, you want to lock in the solid yields before the Fed cuts again and it implements QT3.
Well, we have German elections this weekend too.
Oh, are you looking at Bunds? What are they called? Bundas? Bunds?
Bund, German
Buns?
Bund market.
It's almost like Paul Hollywood saying bun in the Great British Bake Off. Bun. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of shit happening. Plus, we got just the ever present Trump dump, which probably also was part of the reason the market tanked. Any financial person watching that was thinking to themselves, "This person is in charge of the things that make me money." It's not exactly a good feeling, at least if you're rational. So
Hmm.
yeah, this is we're just there's just not a ton of confidence right now.
Looks
Anyways,
like
yeah.
looks like the conservative opposition leader won.
Can
in
you
the
guys hear me?
German election. Yeah. So
Okay. I've been talking for a long time, but I don't think anybody can hear me.
not at all.
Awesome.
Give us the recap.
I was just gonna say Nvidia is interesting because people are short calls on it and long everything else.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens. That's all I was saying.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, there's all those fucking ETFs that are selling calls on it.
Yeah,
Didn't Trump say he's cutting military spending? He said that like 50 times.
he proposed a 50% cut to military defense spending between China, the U.S., and Russia.
Hmm. Yeah.
It's never going to happen,
No.
or it's only going to happen for the USA because they'll just say, "Yeah, we totally did it, Trump."
I mean,
And then
even
he's
if we
gonna
cut
cut
our
his,
defense
and-
spending by 50%, it would still be like 10x what Russia and China spend on their militaries.
Yeah, but it would also cause utter chaos in the entire military
It
organization.
would cause utter chaos in our entire economy.
It would. People have no idea how many like random little shops in like Des Moines and wherever only exist because they made a part for an M1A1 Abrams tank that was produced back in 2001, but that part is no longer needed, but the spending is still there. So yeah, our economy.
It's worse than that. I mean, there's entire cities that only exist because of the military.
Yeah, like Fort Bragg.
Oceanside.
It is the largest welfare program in the world.
Yeah. Socialized medicine, everything.
Yeah.
But nobody wants to touch it. So it just keeps getting bigger. It's like, we'll just have the military do this.
DoD told all employees to ignore Elon's email. Ooh, it's gonna get spicy.
Which is so dumb. It's just like nobody's gonna read all those emails. Like, just write an email that just says 5 bullet points. It says poop, you suck, eat a dick.
Quit your please quit your
Right.
job. I've promised people $5,000 each, and I don't know where to find $1.2 trillion.
I mean, that is so moronic. Listening to them say, "Oh, it's not going to be inflationary because people are going to save it." I was
I'm
on
not.
Twitter, it's like, yeah, nobody is. Like, one of the fundamental laws of the universe is that United States citizens will spend 95% of their disposable income.
Mm-hmm.
And someone was trying to be like, "Well, this guy said something that maybe that says that you're wrong."
Sounds like
Talking about
TDS,
how,
man. You
like-
got that Trump delusion syndrome.
I have AI delusion syndrome.
Ah.
Yeah, but and so I went and read this thing. They said it's wrong. It's like, oh, like people started saving in 2008, which is what caused the recession because people weren't spending. And I went and looked, and it's like, guess how much of their how much of their income they were spending during the recession.
Ooh, pick me.
How much would you guess?
95%.
You're correct. So yeah, people are gonna spend it.
Yeah, I'm
That's a lot
gonna
of money.
spend it.
That's more money than.
Is anybody gonna use it to buy Tesla puts with me?
That's what I was gonna do.
Oh, okay, nice. I'm just
Either
gonna buy
Tesla
like
puts
out
or
of the
Nvidia
money
puts.
Tesla leaps at like $100. I should be able to get
Yeah.
like 10 of them at least, if not more.
I mean, just do what I do and just buy the very bottom of the chain as far out as you can. You can buy a lot of those.
$5 Tesla puts for like 2027.
Yeah, did you buy like 150 of those things?
No, because even if like Trump figures out how to put Elon in jail, then like he's gonna use the government to buy Tesla and put it inside our sovereign wealth fund. That way,
So
the
Tesla
people.
calls then.
That way, Trump finally realizes the Republican dream of the people owning the means of production.
Okay, so I just strangle both ends of the farthest out chain I can. How about that? I just do the highest
Nothing,
strike and the lowest strike.
nothing more libertarian
Yep.
than seizing the means of production.
The federal government seizing the means of production.
I
Yes.
mean, we live in the worst fucking timeline. We really do. We never should have killed Harambe. We really
The
fucked
worst
up.
part is the worst part is that the irony is lost on everyone.
I know, right? It is peak
You
peak
don't get
irony
it.
that this is all happening.
He's just trolling you, you libtard.
So wait, so I have a question. All right. How many more totally not a Nazi salutes do we get before Trump does one?
Has Trump not done a Nazi salute yet?
He hasn't done it yet. No, he's waiting for it to be okay enough for him to do it, I think.
Okay. We're
So how many
like,
more do
I
we
think
get?
it'll.
how many are we up to? We got what? Elon,
We got
Steve
3.
Bannon. We got that chick who did
Well, hold
one.
on. Do we call Elon? Is that 2? 2 for 1, or is
He
that
did
4?
do 2 technically, so we're up to 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there was like
Those
some
are rules
CEO that did it at his earnings call over like last week.
It's amazing
there's
how
5.
many times people accidentally do it just randomly. That's so fun.
I've never in my life have I given somebody a Nazi salute, and definitely not accident. How do you accidentally have that muscle spasm?
Well, but here's the thing, Dirk, is
Just to
there's
be
a
clear, how many Nazi salutes have you done on purpose?
None,
Oh, okay. I
0.
thought you're
but none
saying
accidentally
you've never
either.
done it accidentally.
Yeah.
Well, but Girk, the thing is there's a picture of Elizabeth Warren with her hand extended like that, which completely invalidates everything we're saying.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Might. I mean, I
yeah.
think there is some amount.
I
of
thought that was
courage
Steve
goes
Bannon
there.
that did it at CPAC. Wasn't there like just like some random guy who like just
No,
couldn't
Steve
couldn't control
Bannon
his
did it, and then he gave
excitement?
no, Steve Bannon did it, and then he gave the slight nod of, "Yeah, I just did that."
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he did. He
You know what
didn't.
we need AI to do?
But
We need AI to look at like
oh, you know what?
video.
Maybe we can send AI the pictures and be like, "Is this a Nazi salute?"
Right.
Well, the video.
Like
You got to do
hot
the
dog,
whole
not a hot
video.
dog. It's got to
Yeah.
be the whole video, and then they have to look at, factor in the angles and like,
The yaw
the context
portion.
and everything, and like calculate, is this a Nazi salute or not?
Germans just really love waving.
Germans actually just don't do that anymore.
Yeah, isn't like
I'm pretty sure you go to jail for it.
yeah, like everything Nazi is jailable in Germany. They really went fully the other way. Well, not anymore because they just voted in the right wing party again for the first time since World War II.
What are you implying about the right wing and Nazism?
What? Nothing. I would never make that correlation at all.
That's what
Crazy.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, the Nazis were very liberal.
Yeah, actually, Adolf Hitler was one of the first people. I think he was.
Yeah,
Actually
he was
the
a
first
he
leader
was
to
an
pass
art
a
he was
non-smoking bill.
he was an artist.
Wasn't he a vegetarian?
Yeah, a vegetarian artist, dog lover.
He was also a veteran, a combat veteran from
Yeah.
World War One.
And an author.
Yeah, an author.
A lover of a very particular type of man.
Yes. Yeah, no, I think that this whole thing is so ham-fisted that there's no way we don't get just a wild swing in the midterms.
Well, what's interesting is we're running very quickly, and I think this is what the bond market's worried about, is very quickly we're going to approach a point where the Supreme Court has to decide how much executive power the executive branch has. Because, obviously a lot of executive orders have been signed that are totally out of the scope of Trump's constitutional powers. And so will the Supreme Court yield power to Trump or will they not? And that
Yes,
decision...
it An even more fun question than that is the executive branch going to give a shit?
Well, the
If
Supreme
they
Court can
do,
enforce. They can enforce it.
with what army?
The one that's sworn to the Constitution.
The one under the purview of the executive branch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the one that also solemnly vows to defy orders that are unlawful or against the
Okay.
Constitution. So
Yeah.
That's super clear.
To protect the Constitution from all enemies, foreign and domestic.
There's there's never been any gray area on that one.
No. It's really clear cut.
Again, we need AI to decide what is lawful or not.
no, we don't. We need Grok to decide what is constitutional or not. That's what
Yeah,
we need.
Grok passed the bar, man, in Louisiana.
Oh boy. You know who else gets like really good scores on standardized tests?
Children.
The weirdos that spend all of their time studying for it for like 2 years. That everyone's like,
You mean graduates of
they
the
can't-
Khan Academy?
they can't function in the real world. They just learn to the test. But then when an AI does it, it's just like, this is the future.
Poopy says we're bad at sarcasm. Not gonna lie, that's because we're not trying. We're
Yeah,
just
it's just natural.
We're just being really blatant about it.
I mean, the thing, like, when does it pass from sarcasm to cynicism? I don't know.
I love Girk being a constitutionalist now. You know what I love more, Bob? Your complete abandonment of it.
Shots fired. What is Bob's opinion on anything lately?
I don't know.
Besides
Probably something
uninformed?
Trump raw.
Well, what
My
did Alex
guns.
Jones think? That's his thing. Alex Jones's thoughts are his thoughts because he's actually Alex Jones.
He is actually
more-
Alex Jones.
I'm getting
I
more and more
think
convinced it's
anything-
actually Alex Jones.
But him putting Alex Jones on his PFP does more damage to him than anything else.
No, his words do enough work too. His PFP could be of Barack Obama, and he would still be a dipshit.
Yeah. I don't know, I think he's fun.
He's fine, but
We've only got
he likes my
like
pork chops, so I hate him.
we've only got
I'm
like
okay with it because he at least acknowledges that he is not the brightest bulb in the pack, which I think is. I can work with that.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. He hasn't internalized that, Jay Fresh. He's got you.
I don't know.
fooled.
I kind of feel like he has.
Maybe.
I don't know. He can weigh in.
I've managed to over the course of 4 years I've managed to keep 2 staunch Republican viewers. Maybe that says something about me.
It does.
Oh, I banned
Bob.
walking.
Bob, we need you
I
to
could
tell
have
us.
3 if I wanted them.
Bob, we need you to tell us if you're Alex Jones or not.
Are you Alex Jones? Just be honest, man. Is Jay Fresh walking? It sounds like it. Maybe he's on like a treadmill.
I'm cleaning the back deck.
Nice.
Are you pretending you're doing something so that you can do this call?
No, I'm actually cleaning it. My task that I was commanded from on high.
Did you see that there was a book written in the 1800s by Ingersoll Lockwood, who was an advisor to Lincoln, about the adventures of Baron Trump and the last president of the United States? Nice. Did you just time him out when he responded?
Damn straight.
That doesn't
Oh, we
even
got
sound-
Barack Obama in the chat. Or it's Barack Obama.
Barack Obama.
This is all. It's so fascinating what's happening. I mean,
Is it?
I yearn for more boring
Fascinating the
times.
word
But...
here.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, we're about to have some crazy historical precedents set. It's going to be nuts, dude.
I just find it all really annoying.
Oh yeah, it's frustrating, but like it's also fascinating. You could it's like being a psychologist and studying psychopaths. It can frustrate you to no end, but it also interests you to no end.
It's time for
Yeah.
predictions. Well, I won because not only did I make the only prediction last week, but it wasn't bad. I mean,
I
Jay
would have just
Fresh
told you to sleep.
technically made a prediction, but it was really bad, so I'm gonna pretend like he didn't make
Hey,
it.
it looked really good by midweek.
You mean your 6200 prediction?
Yeah,
I told you it wasn't gonna happen.
you did. You did tell me Wednesday night it probably wasn't going to happen, and I said stocks go up,
Yep.
and they didn't.
They actually went directly down after that.
There's a little chop.
But you guys can go first because you weren't here last week, and I had to do this all by myself. Like I didn't have
Okay.
friends.
All right, I'll go first.
Bots, you don't have friends.
Yeah, he needs to get more bots in the
Don't you have to
Discord
bring
have
Walken
friends.
back if there's a market crash? Yeah, that's gonna be the best time to bring him back because his faith in his political party will have been shaken to the core.
The composition of men.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's my prediction. Open at 59.30 on Monday.
Ooh, nice.
Okay. And then close at 6,100 on Friday.
Okay. Yeah. No, I don't even disagree with that.
Yeah.
That's not the worst one I've heard.
It makes sense.
Where are we at now?
Right now, 6,010.
You think open at 59.30? Wow.
I mean, what happens in between, I don't really know, but I know that there's going to be some sort of crazy recovery and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna say open at.
It's either that or we crash.
It's what we're supposed to be doing. Did you guys not see when I dragged the candlesticks from the COVID crash over to the current thing?
I'm gonna do 60.75 by midweek.
Hold on.
Oh,
Let me show you that.
What's your
before
opening price, though?
I don't know. I hate predicting opening price. Who knows? We're gonna find out in a few hours. Why don't you just wait for it?
Because I want to be so unbelievably right that I become the next. What's that? The Chaikin guy, the total weirdo with the glasses.
Oh, with all the ads everywhere.
Yeah, so
Spam.
I can sell MACD to boomers. Yeah,
Shaken analytics. You're analyzing it. Your thick rimmed glasses.
that's right. He's got those fucking Mr. Magoo glasses.
And he always looks like he always looks like Ted Danson right after he realizes something really horrible has just happened. I know who you're talking about. If you don't know who I'm talking about, just go to CNN.com or Yahoo Finance and look at the ads. He'll be in one of them.
All right, Girk's almost done getting your porn ready.
He's like the doc. He's like who's that guy? Like the gut health guy.
I don't fucking know.
He sells nutraceuticals. He's like the doctor, that doctor of finance. He's just everywhere. He just sells
This is really bad on the weekly. Well,
fiber
similar.
pills every.
I have to do it on the daily. This is such a pain in the ass. All right, hold
The
on.
market has leaky gut.
Oh, here we go. What's funny is you could overlay that in so many places on that chart.
You trying to say that all downside moves look relatively the same?
I'm saying that all bearish consolidation looks the same. When you hit
There we go.
resistance, it looks like this.
There you go, Jay Fresh.
I don't even know what you did.
I dragged. So these are the candles from the COVID crash.
You're predicting a crash this week?
Well, I've got to. It's OPEX.
Well, if he was, this is what it would be.
Yeah, but it's crashing on March at least.
What if it doesn't? March OPEX was loaded to the tits in 2020 too.
March OPEX's second crash.
That's when we recovered.
Oh, all right. Well, we ready for mine?
Yeah, sure.
You're like, I don't even care. We're crashing.
6,100.
No, 60.75 midweek.
Okay. Ooh, midweek. Are we talking Tuesday morning or Wednesday morning?
Wednesday morning.
All right. Okay.
59.50 close on Friday.
Ooh. All right. I like where your head's at too. What am I gonna do? Oh, I know.
Where's the gap down?
6,200.
Hold on, I got it. I gotta just drag it. I think Dork's wrong there. We're gonna open there.
Oh man, this is a very interesting looking one. Get the colors good, and then I'm gonna screenshot this guy. This is entertaining.
All three of us are gonna be wrong. 6,200 end of week.
Oh, then I'll win. I'm down. All right. Womp. And let's do it.
Should move this over. Wait, did you already take the picture?
I did.
Damn it.
It looks fine.
All right.
That's what she said.
Well,
Unlocked and unsubbed. NVIDIA is gonna save the market on Wednesday. Nope.
Yeah, NVIDIA is going to.
How serious is your prediction? Not at all.
Yeah, they're not.
none of these
serious
are
at all.
serious.
These are
They're not
bullshit.
Yeah, none of these
tradable.
are serious.
I write up my actual
all-
predictions at night.
They're
We
almost
told
always
you
These are just
invalidated.
bear bait.
Yeah.
we've told you since the beginning that anyone who trades on these predictions is a moron.
Yep, I am a moron.
I said that.
I actually really don't have that much downside exposure right now. I'm short like TQQQ, and then I have like June 2026 SPX 5400 puts that I've actually had since December.
Watching those babies bleed.
No, they're actually up well, as of Friday they were up a little.
Yeah.
I bought them when
Friday.
I bought them when VIX 3-month was under 16. So they picked up like a lot of value from vol picking up. The real question is, am I gonna go long VX at futures open?
Ooh. We'll see.
Can you put your SPX positions back into Pickles picks once in a while? Yeah, I guess I could. But then I
copy you.
But yeah, that's the problem. Is I feel like people copy me, but they don't like hedge shit. They're just like, I'm gonna buy that contract. Just ignore everything else and buy that contract.
Then a week later, you're like, well, the thesis was invalidated on Tuesday in exactly the way that I described it might. So I no longer hold these contracts, and there's a bunch of people with worthless contracts just like, you sold?
It's, you know, those people, I always know when those people exist because they'll still be like long the shit that I've been out of for several days. And I'm like, why are you still long? And then like weeks later, they're asking me about shit like Wolf or Riley or Carvana.
Yeah, nobody's learned anything.
I shorted
love it.
I shorted Carvana after their earnings on like the IV crush. And I think based on what I think Popcorn paid for his pre-earnings puts, I think we're like neck and neck on profitability.
Ooh. See, Popcorn's one of the greatest traders in here. Because he traded his business for millions of dollars.
That's true, but he still works there.
Oh, yeah. Well, he doesn't have to, does he? I don't know. Maybe he's dumb.
Seeing your position's actually helpful. We know you're trading. Okay, I'll put it back. It's just like another segment I have to write up.
Wait, it just took you one person saying that to convince you to do something?
Yeah, pretty easy sell. I like bragging anyway, so it's a win-win.
Eric, I need $2 million. You won't even miss it.
What are you gonna use it? What are you gonna use it on?
I'm going to buy down debt.
Whose debt?
My debt.
You don't have $2 million in debt.
I know. The rest is just going to be for fun.
That's all of it. I'll talk to Carl.
Okay, yeah. Let me know. Just
Yeah.
ACH me.
Yeah, you got it.
All right, what are we doing here? Because I'm sweeping a back
I think
porch.
I mean, we made predictions. We said what the market was gonna do. We covered some of the macro shit. What do we? Oh, we should probably talk about what we have coming up this week. I don't know if we have anything super important. Tomorrow we have like Chicago Fed national activity and Dallas manufacturing. The 3 and 6 month auction might actually matter. The German election and like EU CPI in the morning will be important, especially if it continues to push the dollar down. House price shit through the midweek. We got a 5-year auction on Tuesday. That matters. We have Nvidia earnings Wednesday. And a 2-year FRN and a 7-year note. And then durables Thursday alongside GDP. And core PCE on Friday.
Got an all-star cast coming up.
Yeah, it's gonna be a busy week of hopefully us just going straight down.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, there's an opportunity for it, but
There's an opportunity for it to turn around. I definitely agree with that. I think we'll probably get some continuation, level off into like if it actually had to make a real prediction, we'd probably get some continuation over the weekend, level off at major support, either like 59.50 or 59.25, push back up towards 6,000 by like Tuesday afternoon, and then Wednesday push up to gamma neutral prior to Nvidia earnings. Then if Nvidia earnings shit the bed, market actually crashes. If they don't, push back up to like 61.50 by end of week.
now, see, I don't think Nvidia is going to shit the bed, but I do think their guidance is going to be more tortuous.
You mean they're just gonna make up more things to say?
Right, but it's going to be like less believable.
Yeah, well, it's been less and less believable every earnings for the last year.
And that's why it's been really flat.
Yeah.
It hasn't gone straight up still. So people are like, is it going to keep going? When does SMCI go get delisted? Isn't that supposed to happen like in 2 weeks?
Nvidia's gonna buy Intel. The fuck Intel's gonna sell to them. Intel's about to get so much free government money. They're not giving that away to anybody. Watch day before Nvidia earnings. Bold prediction.
That Intel's going to get bought?
By Nvidia.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It's not going to happen.
Tailwinds. They couldn't. Nvidia doesn't have enough money to offer them. You think Intel's gonna give away trillions in government subsidies so that they can get Nvidia stock at 500x forward earnings?
Yeah. Also, Nvidia is just
Poopy's like trying to like convince me to short Nvidia. If Nvidia buys Intel, their stock price is gonna go to like $80. Oh my god, is it time for me to buy more 160 puts on Nvidia? Or $60 puts on Nvidia? Maybe.
although this is the alternative era.
Not bad. You guys are the only ones that can be sarcastic.
Oh. I don't even know who's talking right now.
You can't
Who's saying
say outrageous things anymore because they just sound true. That's the world we live in, okay?
Yeah, I started the stream today saying that oil doesn't come from dinosaurs.
And me and Dork were both convinced that you were really onto something.
I mean, I actually was half serious. But
Oh boy.
I don't know enough to. I'm just saying, it seems like that thing that everybody has just been told, and everyone's just like, oh, yeah, that's true. That seems obviously true. But it's like, if you actually stop and think, you're like, this claim probably should require extraordinary proof.
You know what I would appreciate?
What?
If you spent less time thinking about the anaerobic decomposition of dinosaur shit and more time making me my market twist indicator.
Market twist? Oh, that's stupid.
Yes.
I gave you pretty charts today. I gave you goon material.
You did. I've been gooning off to him for like a couple hours now.
They're only going to get prettier. I've been testing things. We're getting them tweaked. They're going live. We're gonna give them to people.
TM.
And I'm not gonna hear about it. Hey, too much alpha.
Exactly.
We're giving it to people. Giving the people what they want.
Charts.
Charts.
Nice.
Pretty charts. The prettiest charts you've ever seen.
You're gonna have to explain your temperature variation thing here. But I like it.
I will, but we're not giving it away. I'm not ready to explain it, but I have an explanation.
All
Mark,
right.
did you understand my explanation when I explained it to you?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Is LMT at 19.5 PE a good deal? Depends on when we go to war and with whom. Like, are we going to war with ourselves? Because in that case, probably bearish. Or are we going to war with somebody else? Bullish. Damn, LMT is kind of a good deal right now. Ooh, it bounced on my line. Hmm. Man, I could have bought LMT $20 ago if I was paying attention to it at all. Alright, that's enough of this. I'm gonna go do other things with my day. Thank you guys for coming on. I appreciate it.
So yeah.
See you guys later.
For sure. Later, guys.
Peace. For everyone else, thank you for tuning in. If you have any questions or there were tickers that I didn't want to look at, Feel free to DM me and ask me. I might consider it later when I'm in a better mood. You guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Pickles Picks will be out tonight, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Later.
Kenny's Mayonnaise is a proud sponsor of Pickle Financial, so when you get a hankering for some creamy, delicious mayo after a long night of snorting